Hey everybody, hello from my heart. This is Reverend Susabella, and tonight we have a very special topic and two very special people joining me tonight. Our topic tonight is psychic protection. How do we psychically protect ourselves? And tonight's guests are Michael Todd. He is a psychic medium. He does house cleansings. He is a metaphysical healer. He is just a wonderful person. He has helped me through some of my hard times with negative energies, and also Reverend Stewart has also helped me through this as well. So, without further ado, here is the recording of the show, and there's a lot to learn. And a lot of experiences. We all kind of put ourselves out there when we talk about our psychic experiences. And I know a lot of this stuff sounds woo-hoo and all that, but I have to tell you, I personally experienced a lot of things myself, and as well as my callers tonight. And we wanted to share with you some of our dilemmas that we've had to deal with, and and how to deal with psychically protecting yourself and dealing with kind of negative energies. I hate to put a label on things, but it is what it is. It's dealing with negative energies and transmuting them into something positive. So without further ado, here is the recording of how to psychically protect yourself, and I am speaking with Michael Todd, metaphysical healer, psychic medium rather, house cleanser. He does psychic house cleaning, house cleansings, I should say. And Reverend Stewart has a lot of experience in this area as well. So, without further ado, here's the recording, and I hope you learn much from it. And many blessings to you all. And here we go. Okay. So, I just wanted to talk about psychic protection. And, it's something that's close to my heart because I remember growing up as a kid, I was kind of like that kid in The Sixth Sense. I would see dead people and all that, and couldn't talk to anybody about it. And, not only, I'm clairsentient, and I attract not only the good spirits, but I'd say the earthbound, the lower level spirits too. And I was having a hard time with it. And I met Michael Todd through my friend Miriam Klekova.
Yeah.
And, he's been a huge help to me. He's taught me a lot about protecting myself. And I just wanted to ask Mike, hey, Mike, how does one protect themselves from psychic attacks?
One of the main issues that me and him keep running into with the work with the different people is you have a lot of old school people who never learned to control their own chakras, how to shut them down and open them up. So they walk around wide open, and when you're wide open, it's just like you said, a child, there's no way you can protect them. They're just going to have to be prayed for and all because they're wide open. They don't understand the chakra system. So once you learn to shut your chakras down and zip up your aura, you'll be pretty good. But until then, what do you think?
Yeah.
I agree with Michael. Michael has a lot of knowledge with it, but what we do is try to educate people, and we try to explain that these are, I won't say normal things, but they're normal for what they're going through, because it's like having a neon sign above your head saying "Enter here."
Yeah.
And any entity, if you wish to call them entities, can enter. So we try to teach them how to close down, and we try to teach them how to protect themselves from it.
Yeah. And it's something very important, especially for kids, because they are so psychically open.
Oh, unbelievable.
And I'm sure, as you remember, both of you remember growing up and being so aware. And
but we were called hyperactive.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah.
That's when they say take the blue, red, and green pill and call me in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I do have a few questions. There's a few people that do want to ask questions that I'm gonna they're going to call up. I do invite. Well, Lee Thomas Marsh was the first person to call, and then Nicole Seibel. So.
I haven't heard from. I like Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole is cool. So I invite Lee to call right now. If you can hear me, Lee, or maybe I'll just dial you up. And I think I'll just dial you up. There's just so much to know out there.
Well, the main thing you have to realize, if you want to be psychic, please learn how to protect yourself and close your chakras down and open them.
Yes.
It took me 2 months. I can't say it takes everybody
how
long it takes them, but it takes a little while to get control of them. But once you got control of them, you can you'll feel that energy that doesn't belong there come to you. You can shut it out.
Absolutely.
And actually, I learned that from Bruce.
Yeah.
It's also a benefit to you, and once you learn how to clear your chakras, you realize that you're becoming more healthy because your energy is running the way it should run.
Yeah.
So it has a dual benefit in that.
That's great. I learned the zip-up method.
That's what we teach right there. We use one of them.
Yeah,
depending on the person. Some people understand different than others. I have my old martial art teacher now. Him being he's not so much psychic as he is clairsentient like you. He's psychic, but to the martial art aspect. But he teaches the curtain method, where you open the curtain up, put the energy in, and close the curtain. But either one will work. It depends on whatever works for you. Visualization that feels right for you.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever works for you.
There is no set all for one person. We're all different people, so we're all going to accept different things in our own psyche.
Oh yeah. And I was just curious. Now I know like there's angels. There's different types of entities. There's lower level entities. Can you tell us a little bit more about the lower level entities that are around? Are they just like earthbound trapped souls, or they're from different realms like elementals?
Well, if you ever watched the movie Where Dreams May Come, or I think that's the name of it.
Yes, with Robin Williams.
And you can see how the astral plane works. Because to my knowledge, and my, if you want to call it flying, the astral plane is like that. As you think, so it is.
Yeah.
It really is here, except there's no time, so it takes a while for us to realize it.
Oh, yeah.
So the basic thing to do for me is try to remember to keep your emotions in check. Try to remember to stay in a good frame of mind. And you really won't be bothered as long as you learn to close yourself down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And when me and you went down to Reverend Lee Marsh's at one time, you were talking about how to control the thought process. It's like he says, you got to control the thought process as easy as you control the emotion, because the emotions tend to fire off with the thoughts.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a combination.
What we call lower entities is just people who haven't learned to control their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're vibrating in a lower way than because they have a heavier, what do you want to call it, Michael?
Density,
yeah.
Dense energy.
And they're searching for something, so they're coming to you.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm sorry.
That's, they want to be happy. They just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of my knowledge comes from the Kabbalistic point of view, and they believe there is what you would call demons and daemons, but they just believe some occultists believe it's aspects of the mind. Some occultists believe they're little entities. Either way, when you contact one of them or contract something in that area, you'll be able to tell, because the very first thing you're going to tell is you're going to be scared of everything and its mother. So that's how you'll know, or you'll be so energy drained, which they call them. I think they call them vampires.
Yep, energy vampires.
And I've seen that work too, but I've seen the angels work too. I mean, angels are beautiful. If you ever get to catch a glimpse of a beautiful angel when they walk in to do the work with you,
oh yeah,
that's the best way I can tell you. I mean, that's the kind of area you try to keep your mind to. But I noticed when I had a lot of problems with the darker aspects of it, it showed me how to appreciate the lighter aspects of it. So I don't say there's not a learning lesson in it either.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Did I explain that right, Reverend Bruce?
Yeah. I just what would you suggest? Well, we have about 1 minute and 32 seconds in this segment. Well, actually, no, more than that. We have an extra 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
What would you suggest to somebody that always feels like there's something around them? What would you tell them to do on a daily basis?
Go ahead, Bruce.
I was going to say the best thing they could do is to learn to meditate.
Yeah.
But also along with that, when they're through with it, is to run energy through them and clear themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to clear yourselves constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're picking up all kinds of vibrations from around you.
Oh, yeah. We live in a virtual sea of energy. Here, you go ahead and talk.
And another good thing you can get is if there's a couple really good books on psychic defense. One of them is Dion Fortune's, and the other one is Denon and Phillips, I think it's called, or I can never pronounce their name right. But Denon and Phillips, and both of them are really good with psychic protection.
Oh, okay.
Excellent books for psychic protection.
Oh, that's great.
And I think, again, if you're going to be psychic, find out how to protect yourself. Absolutely. Don't go out here thinking it's great to hear everything, because not everything's going to be treating you great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The basic lesson is, if any entity is telling you that you have to do something, stay away from it.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
That's good point.
Oh, that's good. Hold on one second. I have Lee Marsh on the line. Speaking of Lee, I'm going to put you on speakerphone, Lee, and if you want to ask a question to Mike. Now, we know the station's been having some problems, but we're going to record this anyway. So that way I can just, edit and just put this out, tomorrow. So.
How you doing, Lee?
All right. How are you?
Very good, my brother.
So, what was your question to Reverend Bruce and to Mike?
My question is, I happen to be in a living situation right now where I have a person who is not of like mind, is a renter who's paying me rent to live here, and has a somewhat pessimistic view of the world, and doesn't share my spiritual values, and I'm not completely sure that he is honest in what he thinks about me. In other words, he's misrepresenting himself. I think that he has a less impression of me than he's actually portraying. So my question to you, that this whole show is about psychic defense.
Yes.
Yes.
And so my question is, what do you do in that situation where you're living with somebody who you don't necessarily see eye to eye with, and you don't thinks very highly of you, even though they don't say that?
Lee, this is Bruce. I'm just going to throw a few things out there, and then I'll let Michael talk to you. But I think the very first thing I want to ask you is, what is your gut telling you to do?
Well, I would like him to move out.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly correctly.
Go ahead.
I realize sometimes it's not practical, but for your peace of mind and for your well-being, I would definitely listen to that. That's the best suggestion I can give you. If being around him is dragging you down, then you're setting yourself up to allow other negative energies in, and that's not a good thing. So if you can keep a peaceful self with him there, then it's up to you. But for me, I wouldn't have him there if it was bothering me that much. And I'll turn you over to Michael.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hear nothing but that music.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Lee.
Hi.
I'm going to have to go with Bruce on that. If you have to deal with him, I would have to ask him to find another place and move somebody else in there, because you cannot have somebody of a vibration that's separate from yours dragging you to their level. Do you understand what I'm saying? Water seeks its own level. And for somebody to allow somebody to drag you down and hurt yourself, I would think of me first and tell him it was nice having him, give him a couple weeks and let him go. And that's just my honest opinion, boss. I mean, I've been down that road. Is he still there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lee's still here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I mean, if you have to keep him there, it's very hard to ward it because he's there. And you could put up barriers all you want, but he's going to, I mean, they tend to walk, they can walk where he wants to in the house, so the barriers are going to be null and void. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Now, if you could see, if there's ways to raise the vibration of the house and make him leave.
Yeah.
Like chanting, which you would do, and I know you would because of Yogananda.
Yeah.
Sage, which I like sage too, but there's crystals you can put in the house. You can burn certain candles with the energy vibration to raise it up. If you raise that vibration up, he's going to run anyway.
Yeah, and I was witness to a few episodes of that where he would get the gentleman living with Lee would get really irate and upset for apparently no reason.
Yep.
The energy is changing in the house. And Lee is trying to better himself and trying to move on a higher path, but this guy keeps
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's not Lee's fault in that much an aspect, because if I hung around somebody or I had somebody in my house like that, I wouldn't be able to hold to a higher level. You can't do it.
No.
You'd have to clean well, when you get to a certain stage of development, I guess you could, but I couldn't do it now. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps you, Lee.
Yeah, and it's that's pretty much what I figured all along. He is scheduled to move out by year's end, and I considered asking him to move out earlier than that. There are some practical problems with that, and one is
money.
Right now he's building up, savings in order to be able to do it, and before that happens, is he going to be able to move out? If I just asked him to move out, would he be able to move out? And I don't think that he would. I don't think he'd have the money. So, he got a promotion recently, and so now he's making more than he used to, and he thinks that he's going to be able to move out by year's end, so that's the plan. So my predicament right now is, do I wait until the end of the year, which is his plan, is to move out by January 1st, or do I ask him to move sooner? And is it realistic for him to do so? Is it, if I asked him to move out sooner, is it realistic for him to do so? And I'm not seeing that it is, financially. I'm not seeing that it is.
You're going to have to feel through that situation. I mean, I agree with you. If you can get him out earlier, get him out. But if you ain't got the money, I can understand that. That's a double-edged knife. You know what I mean? It's going to kill you, kill him, or kill you both at the same time. I mean, if you can get him out early, I'd do it. But if you don't have the funds, I would try to keep my base away from him and keep my own energy going higher and higher until he does move. I mean, that's the only best you can do. Especially if he receives mail, he gets 30 days anyway. If he gets mail there by law, he's got 30 days.
I work in the postal service, so it's 30 days.
Yeah, well, my impression, unless laws have changed, is it's 14 days.
I thought it was 30.
If they receive mail where you're living, you've got to give them 14 days notice period at the end.
Oh, I thought it was 30. Sorry, Lee.
And I had to evict somebody, and that's when I found that out.
Okay. I thought it was 30. I apologize.
Yeah. Now, I would give somebody 30 days, because I'm not heartless. I'm not going to throw someone out on the street. But my understanding is Florida is one of the most pro-property owner state in the union. In California, they can live there up to 2 months rent-free.
What's that mean?
And the lady that I had a lady living with me, and that's what she was used to, and she thought that she could squat and live in my house rent-free for 2 months. And we went to court, and the judge said, no, you got 14 days, and you're out.
Well, that's good.
Florida's one of the more, and I'm not sure what I think about that, because it's good for me, but it's not so good for someone who's legitimately living somewhere and is told we've got 14 days to move. I think that's kind of cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
But that is Florida law as it currently sits.
Thanks for enlightening me because I didn't know. I've never had a renter, so I wouldn't do well living with people. I like my family.
Yeah. Yeah. Lee has generously, rented out a room in his house for a long time to different people.
Yeah, you can hear the generosity.
Yeah, all Lee's good people.
So Lee is a good guy. He really truly cares about the people that live with him.
Yeah.
Stick with the chanting, Lee. I'm telling you, that chanting, especially doing Yogananda stuff, you'll raise that vibration. He may just have to turn and run.
Yes. And what crystals can Lee use?
Ooh, let me see. He can use rose quartz because rose quartz will definitely do it.
Rose quartz, yeah, that has a lot to do with love.
Amethyst will do it because it's a focuser.
Yeah.
Actually, jade's a real good occult enhancer too.
Yeah.
So them three that I know of, I'm not a crystal expert, but them three, Lee, work pretty good.
So it's jade, rose quartz, and the other was
amethyst.
Amethyst.
Yeah, because amethyst is like a focal.
Yes, it helps you focus.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly right.
So that's good. Magnetic hematite's not too bad either.
No, that's good from what I understand about hematite. Now I'm not an expert at it, but it's really good for lawsuits.
Oh wow!
Somebody told me that for lawsuits. I read that somewhere.
Well, there you go, Lee. You remember what we were talking about before? So that's good.
Yeah, I have a lawsuit that I have pending for a creditor who was attempting to collect a debt for a fake debt, and so I sued them, and they made an offer of $2,000 to make me go away, and my Morgan & Morgan, who's I don't necessarily like consumer-oriented. What am I thinking of? Injury lawyers. I don't like that. But I decided I'm going to go with these guys in this particular case because they're vultures and they're going to, and they're going to go after these guys, and these guys deserve to be gone after because they invented a debt that I've never owed in hopes that I would just pay the few $100 to make them go away. It's a scam.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You have it from Lee.
Yeah.
You need a vulture, Morgan & Morgan.
Yeah. Well, you did the right thing, Lee, because you chose not to be a victim, so you empowered yourself right then and there.
Yep.
And and the same thing that with your home, you're not going to be a victim anymore of that either. So you've just given yourself power, and I applaud you.
Yep. Way to go, Lee.
Woohoo! Excellent.
Yeah, the way that scam works is they choose a middle class person who makes $40,000 to $60,000 a year, and they send them a fake debt with only a few $100 to write it off, in hopes that they'll just say, oh well, maybe I did owe this and I just forgot about it or whatever, and so they write a check for a few $100 just to make it go away. The mistake they made is choosing a bank I've never had any dealing with. They said that the debt was written under First Union. Well, I've never even been in a First Union branch, so they picked wrong, and so I mean it was obviously a fake debt from the very beginning. But in any case, so you say that what's good for lawsuits?
Magnetic hematite.
Yeah, hematite, man. I was told that by somebody.
Yeah, it's a very powerful stone. It really deflects a lot of negativity, but it must be sent with the intention back of love and light. That's the main thing with magnetic. Any of these protection stones, you always have to have the intention of reflecting back love and light.
Mhm.
No matter how negative the energy comes towards you. So that was a hard lesson for me to learn. Let me tell you. Yeah.
I don't think anybody sitting here didn't have that lesson once or twice.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
And do you see anything like in Lee's future, like as far as like a windfall of money, anything good like that?
It's funny. Well, I should be doing readings online, but I mean, that's okay. When I touch into your energy, Lee, I feel there's a transition period you're going to go through, and everything's going to harmonize. It's going to be beneficial for you, but you're going to spend a little bit more to get it beneficial. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Say that again.
I feel like it has something. You're going to go through a certain transition. I'm not sure, but it has to do with this lawsuit. You're going to come out of it very good, but I feel like you're going to pay more than you're expecting. Maybe for the lawyers or something.
Okay.
That's what I feel. What do you feel, Bruce?
I was feeling that nothing's certain at this point.
I didn't.
Swept up into the, It depends on your actions, Lee.
Yeah. So, just be proactive, and I see you coming out. I just see your life turning completely around.
Mm-hmm.
I just see you
transitioning.
Yeah, you're transitioning. You're taking your power back, number one, by this lawsuit, number one, and of course the situation at home, number two. And once you realize what a beautiful person you are and how much you have to offer the world, all that other stuff is going to fade away. So I just wanted to leave you with that too. That's my prediction, so to speak. So, was there anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I think that's it. It was enjoyable talking to everybody.
Hey,
Thanks.
nice to hear from you too, Lee.
All right, and I hope to hear from all of you again.
Thanks.
I don't know. Have I met Bruce?
Not in person, but maybe you might have seen him at the Temple of Light years ago, or at the College of Metaphysical Studies. Actually, we're all alumni of the College of Metaphysical Studies.
He knows your dad.
Oh, Reverend Bruce knows your dad.
He knows his dad.
Tommy Marsh.
Yep, Tommy.
Yeah. I wasn't drawing a connection or drawing a face with Reverend Bruce. Todd. I know Todd.
Yeah.
Oh, you've met him before the show?
Yeah, but Reverend Bruce, I was trying to draw a face with that, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever met this person. Anyway, it was nice to meet you.
God bless you, brother.
Nice meeting you too.
All right. And you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful show.
You
Thank
too.
you so much, Lee. Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
and
thanks for calling in.
Always.
All right.
Blessings to you, brother.
Blessings.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Susan, I really did feel the transition happening for him.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I did. What I feel mostly, I ain't kidding you. What I felt mostly was he's going to pay out more than he's expecting, but he's going to come out financially okay.
Oh yeah.
With the lawsuit itself.
And his whole life is going to turn around because he's living his truth now.
I'm trying not to get that far into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to turn around.
I felt
he's transitioning.
How his life goes, and I don't mean good or bad.
Yeah.
It's what he decides to do that's going to shape what comes next.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good job, Lee.
He's gone.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he said it for the recording. I'm recording this show, folks, because we're not sure whether or not we're coming through. Lee had mentioned to us that he couldn't hear the show at all. So we have about 33 seconds left in this segment. There's going to be another 2-minute segment after this.
Okay.
So after that, I'm going to play a little bit of music, and then we'll come right back. I'm going to get Nicole on the line. So for the next 2 minutes or so, why don't we talk about...
Mike, what? Oh, excuse me, Susan. I'm sorry.
Please.
Why don't you tell a little bit about our experiences so far?
Oh, with the work?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Which one would be a good one to tell, Bruce? We got so many now. Go ahead. Yeah. Do the 30-second one to sit and think about that, Bruce.
Yeah. So we got about a minute and
That's good. It's giving me a
40
chance to
seconds.
think for a minute.
Yeah. We're just.
I can't mention her name, but that was a good one.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Can you describe a little bit what
Oh, I can tell you exactly what happened. I just can't mention her name.
It's an invasion of privacy.
It's evasion. That's one thing I do not do.
Oh, okay.
I will not tell somebody's name.
Oh, right, yeah.
When you tell me we're ready, now I'll describe what happened.
Oh, yeah. We got a minute and 20
That's
seconds
fine.
left. Yeah.
You can go ahead, Mike.
Yeah,
talking? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought we were thinking. Anyway, me and Bruce ran into a good mutual friend of both of ours that had a problem with, I guess you could say somebody sent her a bunch of negativity. And she had dropped 30 pounds in a month. She wouldn't walk in any darkened room. And she had to go on antidepressants. So me being who I am and Bruce being who he is, when I walked in, I knew the sign and the symptoms right off the bat because I've been down that route before. That's how I know it. Most of the stuff Bruce and I have done, we've dealt with before for ourselves.
Yeah.
And this lady, we had to go to her house and called upon, when I do the work I do, I call upon, I don't know how my brother does it, but he does great work too.
Yeah.
The work I do, I call upon a certain angel from the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, and there's a certain angel I like to work with, and he usually comes down and just wipes the energy completely away, and then he usually gives me a time period for them to regenerate, and depending if as hard as that lady got hit, it took her a year to get back.
Yeah.
Because it hit her psyche that hard. But her house was protected from the entity itself for 3 to 4 weeks. I can't remember exactly. And then it was up to her to ward the house herself. And that's what happened. I mean, it was terrible. I think that's the worst one I've ever dealt with. No, the other lady down in St. Pete was the worst one. So, yeah, that was interesting. What take you got on it?
I agree with you with it. The person that we are speaking of today is back to normal, and I think in my belief system, it's God. And
yeah, me too. God too.
How everybody has a different belief system, but God
does the work.
Did the work through us, and I think that it worked out good for her.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just to speak to people out there, if you find yourself keep having bad luck after bad luck after bad luck after bad luck, you might have more wrong than you think. If you find yourself real depressed and you just can't pull your head out of it, it may be a psychologist thing or it may be a thing for Reverend Bruce and myself, because a lot of that has to do with different entities that will draw you down.
Yeah.
So just to let you know that for your own information, I mean... the easiest thing I can say. A lot of drug addicts and alcoholics tend to have stuff around them and on them, which drags them down and keeps them in that area.
Oh yeah, and one thing I must insist.
And you were a privy to one friend of ours who had that problem. And you
oh yeah, I can actually see people's auras, and when people have more than 2 drinks, I mean you can have up to 2 drinks. But anything more than 2 drinks, your aura goes from out like a couple of feet to a couple of inches. And folks, that is your psychic shield.
Yep.
And it's generated by your chakras. And if you don't, I can see this for myself. I've known people with alcohol addiction and drug addiction, and I can't stress enough, if you have more than 2 drinks, you are basically getting rid of your psychic shield, and that means any lower level entity, meaning like an earthbound person that's passed on and hasn't really understood that he or she is gone, they can latch on to you.
If you live in a haunted house, they'll latch on to you.
That's right. And they can make that person worse. If they're if this person that's earthbound is had an alcohol or drug problem, they'll make your problem worse. They'll live vicariously through you.
Reverend Susan, it is possible, and I have seen it, and I know Reverend Bruce has, that entities can live on the outside of your aura and just suck you dry.
Absolutely.
In other words, live through you. In other words, you'll think it, you think, and I have dealt with, and I can't remember who it was, but it was I know who it was. It was me. At one time I had it was like another me, but it wasn't me. It was an entity that portrayed itself to look like me and all, and it came out in a service down at the College of Metaphysical
Wow.
Studies that did not have anything to do with me. And Dr. Paul himself said, "Why did you stand up in my service and interrupt me?" I wasn't in there. I was outside talking to him.
Oh,
so
my
it
God.
had been cut from me. 2 days before that happened, I heard God or Jesus, whatever you want to call him, come through and say, "That which held you back in this life is being cut from you."
Yeah.
And this, I don't know, it was me, but it wasn't me. It just took all my energy signature.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be careful of stuff like that too.
Yeah, they can actually take on, just like you said,
Characteristics,
look like
everything,
you.
and
Yeah.
run right through, live right through you.
Yeah. That's pretty freaky.
And then another one, and you could probably explain it better than me. There's walk-ins.
There's walk-ins tend to be one of the hardest things to diagnose.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a person and you decide to go to sleep and you wake up and nothing seems the same anymore, walk-in may have arrived. Someone else, you may have made a pact with someone and they came in to experience your life and you decided to leave.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what goes on, but they can leave you feeling very disheveled.
Oh, yeah.
Not understanding. But a lot of people don't want to mention it because if they do, they feel that people are going to feel that they're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Near-death
lived
experience
that.
that happens.
Yeah.
A lot of some near-death.
It
They
can
walk
be.
out and something else walks in. You can't get back in your body. You're done.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
another thing. When doing psychic work again, I'm going to say, especially if you're doing astral travel, a lot of people are taught to astral travel out of the body. Make sure you have your physical body protected
Oh, yeah.
by a circle or by whatever you believe or have faith in to protect you, because there are walk-ins that can walk in on you. If you leave, you're done.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but I've actually experienced that once. And he has more experience in that than I do.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that much experience. My dad did. Dr. Paul Danielle
yeah.
did, but I didn't have that.
Yeah, I consider that a little bit different, though. That's something done with evil intent. A walk-in to me is somebody who made a pact with another
Oh, no kidding.
being.
I didn't know that. Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I never knew that.
Me.
Yeah.
That's what I consider it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would disagree with me, but that's my belief.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had my own experience. My friends Aviana and Gail, they exorcised, them and 10 other women exorcised 2 entities that were stuck to me.
Yeah.
And
They'll
I can't...
stick right to the arm.
Oh, yeah. And my life was a travesty back then. All my chakras were black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything in my life was going wrong, you know, and it was I don't know how I survived it, honestly. You know, first they did Reiki on me, and then they cleared, then they discovered all my chakras were black, and then they knew that there was something attached to me. So, I had what they call a shamanic depossession done. It was a beautiful ceremony. It's nothing like The Exorcist.
When God comes through, it ain't nothing like The Exorcist. No.
Yeah, the way Hollywood makes it out to be.
Yeah,
pea
soup.
Pea soup, yeah.
I can still remember pea soup.
Oh man, I'm telling you, and it was a beautiful experience. It was people were smoking through the peace pipe.
Oh, good.
And they were passing around a blanket, and I had to give like a little gift to everybody, like a candle or something. And I made like a vegetarian meal, for everybody. I made like a cabbage soup, and it was, I dressed all in white, even down to my skivvies, all white. And I had to lay down, flat on my face. And then, when they passed the blankets around and everything, and it was just so beautiful. Aviana had released the entities actually out through my bottoms of my feet.
Good. Yeah.
And I heard the whole room go, "Oh my God!" Like they gasped because they couldn't believe it. And it was actually a beautiful thing because these 2 entities, they were out on they went away. They went back where they were supposed to. And it was beautiful, and that was the beginning of my spiritual awakening.
I was just going to ask you, and that was my question to you. When did you first, I don't want to say become enlightened, say wake up. That's the easiest way to look at it. Because I went to sleep, woke up, and went to sleep twice.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
We go through that tug of war of belief and disbelief. And, you know,
especially from a hard Christian background, no offense against Christians.
Well, I was raised Roman Catholic.
Yeah, so you got a Christian background, especially like that, or I was a Pentecostal, and they're fire and brimstone, hell bent.
I've been to a Pentecostal.
And then when and like you were saying about the kids earlier, when you have, like me, and when I was younger, I'd see spirits walk through the room and everything. These are something you couldn't go tell your preacher. They'd tell you you're possessed by a devil.
Oh, yeah. And you know what kind of irritates me? You know, I talk to a lot of metaphysical people, and a lot of them say, well, there is no good and bad. I mean, I have my own belief system in that. Yeah, and I agree. Everything has its own place, whether it's good or bad.
Best for him to answer that one.
Oh, okay. Well, let her rip, Bruce.
Okay.
Just got to move the mic a little closer.
Yeah, try to keep it away because I don't want to speak too loudly into it. Yeah. But I think I went through this with the person on Saturday night.
Yeah, we just went through this whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It was very enlightening. It was very cool. But I think there's good and evil on this plane.
Yeah.
They're the opposites, you know, they're positive and negative.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
I don't think there's necessarily good and evil at the source.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't recall being there, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But I think that's a neutral, and I think that's why we're allowed to experience. We can choose. We can choose what we do.
Yeah.
It's our choice. We're going to go back there eventually.
Yeah.
As we're here, they say God, if you wish to call him God, experiences through us.
Yeah.
So it's not just experiencing the good, as we call it.
Yeah.
Experiencing the bad also. And so, I think on this plane there's good, there's evil. I'm just not so sure if it exists at the source.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know.
When you say it, well,
that's sorry. Okay. That's all right. Well, you go ahead, Mikey.
When you say at the source, you mean all the way back to the Godhead itself?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I was just trying to get my head with it.
I do believe in demonic.
Yeah, see, because I have to say, well, Reverend Bruce knows my belief systems, and so does Reverend Susan. Correct?
Yes.
Reverend Susan. I do believe in demons because I have seen them, dealt with them, smelt them, and seen a lot of interesting things that would blow most human beings' minds.
Yeah, if you ever smell them, you'll know.
Oh, my God, they give off a smell, and it's no lie. A negative entity, you'll never forget the smell.
Yep, I've been around that.
And you never. It just don't ever leave you. My pop, Dr. Danielle, told me that the only other place he ever smelled stuff like that was in Vietnam. And he said it was covered with it.
Oh, my God. It was death.
Yeah.
The smell of death.
Well, yeah. It was terrible. And another good advice for people out there, pay attention to your animals, because if they go, they're seeing something. I can tell you mine saved my life. My little kitty saved my life more than once. Just to let you all know out there.
Or if they cower and back off.
You know, if they cower and back off, or just pay attention to your animals. They do know. They see more than we do.
Oh, yeah. My cat, when I lived in my house up in New York, it had about 10 different entities living there. Oh. Not to mention the 2 that were attached to me.
Right.
So I had some serious problems going on.
Now, would the cat just freak out?
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are really relaxed
around.
Yeah, see, that's
she would
bad.
Pounce on me. She would protect me.
She could see you.
Yeah.
She could see them on you.
Yeah. And she would go, you know, like hissing, and look straight in the hallway. And before I knew that the human aura can separate from the body, there's a great book by Swami Panchadasi called The Human Aura.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Book.
It's a good little book. It's concise.
I got all his writings. I got them online.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes, he is.
And I was just floored because it actually explained to me what happened to me. See, one night I was living with my ex-husband. His uncle lived in the basement, and I woke up 3:30 in the morning to his uncle cursing. And his uncle was schizophrenic. And he was a real sweet guy, but he had another side to him.
Oh, yeah.
A very dark side.
I have a different take on schizophrenics, too.
Oh, yeah, they're possessed.
A lot of them are, I agree.
Absolutely. I would agree. And there was a history of black magic in the family.
Right there,
and there you go.
There you got it right there.
And I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I saw this big brownish black mass moving like this. It must have been about 10 foot long. I just woke up. My cat was on top of me, protecting me, and I was like, oh, my God. And this thing had a hook in it, the hook in its hand. And this thing traveled from the uncle's aura out into the hallway, and I thought I was going nuts, and I was just
a lot of us have one time or another.
And it's true, and that's why I really want to do like a series about this, because
anytime you want to, you write it up and I'll talk about it. And
yeah,
Bruce,
absolutely.
Reverend Bruce knows. He knows.
Yeah.
I wish my dad was living. Pop knew everything.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Still does.
Yeah, I know he still does.
Yeah, on the other plane for sure. He was a very sweet man.
Very wise man. I was very blessed to have him as a pop. I was, yeah.
Yeah.
He led me from one end of my life all the way to the next. I went from point A to point B through him, and actually Reverend Bruce.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's why I'm waiting for a Taoist now. If anybody out there is a Taoist teacher that really knows what we're talking about, tell me.
Yeah. We'll make our way there. Well, we got 44 seconds left in this, and then we're going to go to a small break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. And I'm gonna try to get Nicole on the line if Nicole can hear me. Nicole, we didn't forget about you. Yeah.
I love Nicole. She's sweet
too.
People.
She's good people. And we're going to talk more about experiences. She's had a lot of experiences.
I know she has. I've heard a couple of her experiences. I would really love to talk to her husband one time, one-on-one. I never had the chance yet.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I've also met Nicole's sister.
Oh, yes. Michelle, yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very fine lady.
Yes, she is. Well, we got about 2 seconds left, so we'll be back, folks, after this song. I'm going to call Nicole real quick. Second. Hey, welcome back to Transitions to Transformation Radio. I'm going to have Nicole on the line shortly. Well, Mike, you go ahead and talk what you wanted to talk about. Or Bruce.
What are we talking about, Michael?
Right now?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah, you're a big help. Yes, folks, this is what we do.
Yeah, we've been talking about psychic protection and methods to keep yourself from being hit psychically. And I know we've hit on mostly everything, I believe, Reverend Bruce, but I think a little of it needs to be more in depth. But I think they need to grab their own books and find their own understandings with it.
Yeah.
You can only give people basics.
You can explain things.
That's
You're blue in the face, but until you catch on to one way, it doesn't work.
I'll give a good example. One lady and gentleman, my brother and I went down and did, and it must have been 2 hours, and Bruce sat there and explained, and the lady just didn't get it. Calls me back 2 weeks later, the guy left her, he didn't listen to me,
The guy was fine.
The guy was fine.
That's why we had to do this, because
the man was fine. It was the woman, and believe it or not, she's a psychic. Don't get me started.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, I have found, and again, I'm going to say it again, especially old school mediums, and this is from my own analogy, very few of them know how to shut their own chakras or control their own chakras because they're so used to being open.
Right.
And me, I'm a physical phenomena medium. I'm still doing it.
Right.
I believe, and I have talked to another lady who said she blew her throat chakra from doing physical phenomena, which I don't see how, but hey, if she did, she did. But if it wasn't, you have to protect yourself no matter what you're doing. I don't care. You have to do it. It's just that way. You cannot be a sensitive, a medium. Actually, if you really want to get into, I know people who practice Wicca. They need to protect yourself because they're dealing with other energetics and other realms.
If you're going to walk into any place that has a bunch of people around, you really need to protect yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we have Nicole on the line. I'm just going to put the speakerphone on. Oh, it is on, okay. Hey, Nicole. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Nicole.
Good, how are you?
Michael, Todd, how are you?
Very good. I was going to call you, believe it or not, but I didn't want to bother you because I thought you were always busy.
I am always busy.
See, I knew I was right. I still have your number.
Oh, that's good. Well, you know what? It might be different now because we moved, actually, so it's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, you call me anytime, honey. You still got my number.
I do. I will, definitely.
How's your sister, may I ask, before we get in any conversations?
Say that again?
How's your sister?
Oh, she's doing really good.
Good.
She's actually engaged to be
married. So.
Tell her, give her my love. I am so glad. I told her she didn't have to worry. Thank God.
Yeah. She's like that, but that's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, she's happy. She's happy finally. Thank God. So.
Sometimes it takes us a few times. Believe me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Reverend Bruce Stewart here too.
Hello, Reverend Bruce. How are you?
Hello, Nicole.
How's it going tonight?
Well, you can probably tell us better than we can tell you. How is it going?
Well, it's going pretty good.
Can she hear us over? I mean, in other words, on the radio?
Work, so,
oh, good.
You know, I thought I'd call in and say hello and maybe ask a question if that's okay.
Oh, anything you want to know, honey.
Okay, well, I was just curious. I do psychic readings as well, and I have to honestly admit I don't always protect myself.
Oh, don't do that.
When I start to feel like there's something not right, I do quickly try to protect myself, surrounding myself with white light and so forth. And the other night I had a customer call in, and they were having some really weird spiritual things go on, and I was talking to them, and immediately I protected myself. But sometimes I don't feel like I'm actually protected. And I had a weird experience when I got off the phone with my customer the next day. The energy in my house felt really strange. And actually my boyfriend was standing in the kitchen, and he became really dizzy and lightheaded, and he actually passed out. And he'd never experienced anything like that before, and he was having like stomach aches and stuff, and I felt like there was a presence in the house, and I had told him that later. And so I was just wondering, I guess when you protect yourself, how do you actually know that you're actually protected? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying, I guess?
All right, Nicole.
Sorry.
No, honey, I understand. One thing I learned about protection, me and Reverend Bruce were just talking about it. Whatever you use for protection, you got to have faith in it that is protecting. Now, I'm not a big lover of the white light protects me too much, because I have seen it where it didn't work for me, because I've dealt with energies that it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I want to say, is there any certain symbols that you like, that you really have a faith behind? Like me, I love rose crosses. I like pentagrams. I have complete faith a pentagram or a rose cross is going to hold something away from me. Do you have something like that for yourself?
No, not really. I mean, I've never really thought about anything as protection. I've always used the white light, I guess, and just hoped for the best. And but I have had things seep through and attack. So I guess it's not working. Maybe I don't have faith in it, or I'm not really sure, honestly, what's going on.
I got a question for you. Do you know how to shut your own chakras down?
That's where I was going.
I was taught a technique of how to shut my chakras down.
Do you do it every day religiously?
To imagine that there's a sleeping bag at the bottom of my feet and bring it
That's
up.
fine. That's a very good. Do you do it though?
I do it from time to time.
It has to be done every day, love.
Yeah.
The next question for it: Do you run your energy to cleanse your chakras?
Do I run my energy to cleanse my chakras? Mm-hmm. Is that what you asked?
Yes.
Oh no, I don't even know how to do that.
Michael, you can do that very well.
I got to teach you the chakra course. That's what I ought to do.
No.
The easiest way to do that is visualize a beautiful bubble of light over your head, and you can call it the God self or whatever you want to call it. I just call it. It's there. Look at it coming down the crown, over your whole aura, and visualize this light just encompassing your aura, everything, just washing clean everything inside and out. And I mean all the way down to the feet.
Okay.
Depends on how good your visualization is. My visualization, I always see what needs to move as black or red. It don't need to be there. It gets washed out. You'll develop your own understanding or your own sense of it. But do that and then do whatever you do to protect yourself, and you're going to find a whole different ball game. You got to keep them chakras closed when you're not using them, though. Except for me personally, I don't close my root or my crown. I keep all the other 5 closed. Now, when I'm doing readings, I open them up.
Okay.
Or work. Did that answer your question?
When I'm doing my psychic readings, I would want to keep them open, but again, when I I feel like there's maybe something kind of threatening around, I will try to close myself down to try to stay protected. But again, it just sometimes things kind of seep through, and it's really strange.
See if you got a gatekeeper.
There are times, like today, as a matter of fact, I went outside in the sunlight, and I just sat there, and I just imagined the sunlight just kind of cleaning my chakras.
That's perfect. That's it.
Something you were talking about there, but I was kind of doing it more outside, and
I tend to do it with the moon. I love the moon.
Yeah. With the moon. Okay.
It's feminine energy, and I'm male, but that's why I do it. But being a lady, the golden light's perfect. That'll clean you right on out. Then you just find something you have faith in. I mean, and just use you know how to visualize your own aura, I imagine. Correct?
Say that again.
You know how to visualize your own aura?
My visualization sometimes is off when I'm doing it for myself. I mean, when I'm doing readings for people and I can visualize better than when I'm actually visualizing for myself for some reason.
Well, visualize the best you can and put whatever symbols that mean really something to you, put them in the inside of your aura, all four directions. You shouldn't have any problem if you have the faith in them symbols. I have faith in God and the symbols I use. I never have that problem.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely try it out and see if that works for me. So I appreciate all of that.
No problem. And if that don't work, come up and I'll teach you the chakra class.
Okay.
I'm fixing to do that anyway. I was just told to do it for somebody else. So, Miriam, I got to do it for Miriam.
Oh, Miriam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because she asked me for a book on it, and I don't have a book, and Barb told me just teach her the chakra course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to sit in on it, let me know, love.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate that. I'll give you a call. I have your number, and I appreciate everybody's, information.
You have something to say, don't you, Bruce?
I'll try these techniques and see if it works for me, and let you know how it works. So.
Good. I'm glad you learned a couple new techniques here. And
I'll definitely try them. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, anytime.
Hey, Nicole.
Yes.
I have this strong sense that you're an empath. Are you?
I am. Yes.
Okay. It's doubly important for you to close down, and not just when you're doing readings, but if you go to the grocery store, if you go to Walmart.
Oh yeah.
If you go anywhere that there's a group of people, it's very important for you to close down.
Yeah, I am so bad about that. When I went to college metaphysical studies, that was something my teacher was trying to beat over my head constantly to close down, and I'm still really bad about it. I don't think about it until last minute when I'm kind of closed off and I'm going, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this way? And then I'm like, well, better. You were just out, or you were just doing this, so yeah. But I'm really bad about it, but I appreciate it. I definitely will start because my energy level is constantly up and down, and I feel that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I strongly feel that, Nicole. I really do.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate that information. I will try to become better at closing myself down and remembering to do that beforehand instead of when it's too late. So.
Nicole, call. You know my number, honey. If you need me, call me.
I will. I definitely want to get a reading from you because there's some stuff going on, and I just want to try to pick up on it.
Anytime. You know what I do. You know what I do, sweetheart. If you want to meet at the college this week, give me a call.
Okay. I will definitely do that.
Love you. Be good.
I will. I'll try anyway. So. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, you have a great rest of the show, and thank you, everybody, so much. And Stu, I will talk to you soon. Okay, guys.
Blessings.
Okay.
Blessings, ma'am.
Many
Thank
blessings.
you. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Sue.
You're
Take
welcome.
Care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, that was nice. I felt like we
Yeah.
did good for her. You did, too. That was you, too,
Both
Bruce.
of you.
You did good.
Superstar.
Yeah, that's good. Well, see, that's the type of stuff Bruce and I are running into.
Oh, we have another caller. Hey, welcome to Transitions to Transformation Radio.
Okay.
And do I have Sylvianne on the line?
You sure do.
Hey, welcome to the show, Sylvianne.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, not much. We got another about 6.5 minutes left in the show. So I was just curious, was there anything that you wanted to know about the about psychic protection?
I do understand that a lot of people have different ways of protecting themselves. At what point do you actually know when you feel like it's time to protect yourself? You know, we all have to get to that point where we want to protect ourselves, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Is it Sylviane?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Sylviane, I feel strongly that there's a click, and it's not a physical click. It's a click within you when you just know, you know, and that's when you're protected.
I feel the same way, too. I remember actually calling out for help. What do I do? What do I do? What's going on here? And nothing's making sense to me. Why is my life going like this? You know, and it's like, okay, shield me from what's happening that I don't understand. Please just help me get to that point to where I click. And it clicked. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's the point where you know, and that's when you know you're protected.
Yeah. That's a good feeling, isn't it, Susan?
It sure is. You know, Sylviane's just full of love and light, and she's just, you know, she always reminds me to always think positive. Sylviane's a very positive thinker. No matter what goes on in her life, she's always positive, and I try to emulate that. And
thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the way you keep a lot of things from you, positive thought patterns.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier in the show. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. When you lift somebody up, I mean, it just takes one person really to lift. I believe it's like 550,000 other people, according to David R. Hawkins. He's a physiologist.
Yeah, I know who Hawkins is. I love his stuff. It's some money, huh?
I will take two of those additions with me. Let's lift two of that times amount up. That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is amazing. See, the world needs more positive people, and I can't stress enough, mind over matter. Just changing your perception from a negative outlook on life to a positive one, because it not only uplifts yourself, but like I said, 550,000 other people.
God knows we can use it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. That means that we have to be aware of the way that we feel negatively, too. If we can affect that many people being positive, we can affect that many people being negative, and we don't want to put those vibrations and those frequencies out in the world either. I mean, we've got to learn to control that within ourselves. I mean, it's the same way as you feel that when you get that click and you know you're protected, but then you have to be aware of the way you feel and what you put out into the world, because it's not just in the same household. Those feelings that we get when it comes to the world that will spread out to the universe. I mean, we are stars. So
that's very correct.
Yes.
We have to make sure we're loving and positive, because when we're mean and hateful, oh my goodness, we do a lot of destruction. You can look at the world today and see how the world is.
Oh yeah, and with all these storms that are coming, you know.
That's the Mother Earth correcting everything.
Yeah. And we have to really offset that by, you know, I always meditate on peace, love, and joy whenever there's a great big storm heading my way, and I always visualize it going out to sea. And you know, when Superstorm Sandy hit last week, I posted on Facebook, you know, meditate, peace, love, and joy, and send Sandy out to sea. I don't know how many people took it seriously, but you know, I mean, I know it sounds like woohoo stuff, but I actually experienced this myself, you know, with Tropical Storm Debbie. I live right on the water, and the water was up to the seawall. And then I started to get scared, but I said, you know, I know better. I'm going to go in my room, I'm going to put some meditation music on, I'm going to meditate on peace, love, and joy. I'm going to visualize it going out to sea. And you know, the wind was beating on my window, like not even 10 minutes later. Everything calmed down. My side of the block was not flooded, but the other side of the block was. I got it half right, but, just to know that one person, and I'm not trying to.
Oh, yeah, it can affect millions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
The power of one person, and I try to wake everybody up and, and tell them, I'm not pretending to have a whole bunch of powers and whatnot, but the power of the mind is just amazing. We only use like 5% of our mind's capabilities, and and I always, and I always tell people.
Well, Jesus said, "Don't believe your light under a bushel."
Right.
Let it shine.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mind over matter, everybody. And there's supposed to be a second storm coming up, and you know what? Don't fear it. Don't be afraid of it. Just send it off. Just meditate on peace, love, and joy, and send it off.
That's what we did last time. I remember you and I had Tiffany's Best Kept Secret. We sat there in my dining room and we prayed it away.
Yep.
It'd be so good. It'd be so hard.
Yeah, and it's the easiest thing to do. And people, we always have, we can visualize things. So we should visualize, peace, love, and joy. Just send it out to sea. That's, it's easy.
Right.
And a lot of people, I'm hoping people more and more will listen to that. I mean, I experienced it myself, so I know it's to be true.
I did it with a tornado. I didn't do it. God did it with a tornado.
Yeah.
When I knew it was coming through our neighborhood, and intuitively I felt it jump my house and then hit the house right behind me.
Whoa! Wow.
And that had nothing to do with me. That was all God. I of myself can do nothing. That which lives within me does.
Right. You let your light shine, and God works with
Yep.
that. Yep.
Just like water flowing off a mountain.
Remember, that's our connection to our God connection. That working.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of the psychic protection has to do with is outlook. If somebody has a victim mentality all the time, they're going to have all sorts of problems because we are human magnets.
You're going to draw it right to you.
Draw it right to
yeah.
us. Just think of our mind. The easiest way, if we can visualize it, think of our mind as sending waves out like a radio. Radio waves. And that's how it works. That's how it works. And, and we can attract good, positive energies to us, or we can attract negative, not so positive energies to us. It's all in the way we perceive it. But it's,
each and every one of us have a different perception on it, but yet it's real to who we are because it's our perception.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like sharing a memory, making sure that we get through this all the same. I'd rather stand in a room of 10 people who are sending out love and kindness and peace and serenity. I mean, I wrote that on Facebook today. To stand around people who are not awake to even think about praying for the other person or for this energy to be changed in the right.
Yeah, and the power of prayer is very strong. Especially like we were talking about intention before. Intention is everything.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I that's to be true. If I would declare anything, I would declare that to be true. Is the intention you have towards the other fellow human being, and we have one thought at a time. So we have a choice to make.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I'm telling you, it's all how like Michael Beckwith said. Attention flows where energy flows where attention goes.
Yep.
Sometimes I get that backwards, but
it's awesome. I love
Chinese, the mind guides the chi.
Yes, the mind guides the chi. Yes.
That's true too.
Yeah. Hey, do you know anything about the Tao?
Not much, no.
I love the Tao.
Yeah. Mike loves the Tao. He's looking for a Tao master.
Yeah, they'll show up.
Yeah.
The student's ready, the teacher's always going to be there.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I'll see what I can do. I've got some connections in the spiritual community. Actually, you have more than I do, Susan.
Yeah, you got some great connections.
You do. You've got some really awesome guests to come on the show, too. I love listening to your shows every Monday.
Thank you. I love listening to your shows too, and being on your show, Tampa Bay's Best Kept Secret.
Oh, I didn't know that was her.
Yeah.
I've actually listened to that myself.
Yay! There you go.
Yep.
You have an avid listener here.
Yep, I've heard that one.
Yes. It's very good.
Really? That's so funny. Nobody's ever told me they listened to me before. I've always spoken to the radio as if nobody was listening. It makes it real.
You know, I was nervous when I first came here. I ain't nervous no more.
Oh, that's good.
I'd never done this, so I was kind of nervous, but I'm pretty
you're-
relaxed now.
Yeah, you guys are great. You know, you're just so relaxed, and you're helping everybody. It's just amazing.
I think it's because you fed us.
Yeah, I think it's KFC.
Colonel's good.
That's right. We paid the Colonel a visit today.
They do make the best coleslaw.
They do.
Oh.
Hey, do you guys like Vietnamese?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh.
I love them rice bowls.
Oh, my God.
Oh, with the shrimp in them.
Oh, yeah. I get
This is not a food show, though.
I know.
How do you keep your chi up? Eat rice bowls.
Yes. Well, I know Sylvianne likes ginger chicken.
Oh, ginger chicken's
yeah,
good.
that's really good.
Good for your digestion, too, ginger.
Yeah. What's that? I'm sorry?
I said, yummy, yummy in my tummy.
Yes. Yeah. There's a really good place out by Sylvianne. It's called Bang Long. Excellent.
There was a place out on South Del Mabry years ago that was good. I haven't been over there in years now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God, it was good.
Where's that at?
South Del Mabry. I can't remember the name of it. Down in Tampa.
I know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's been years. I went there with Sue and all.
To the restaurant that we know where it's at.
Yeah.
I can tell you it's on the right-hand side as you go down. I know that. I know it's before MacDill Air Force Base.
It's a... Was there anything else you wanted to ask Mike and Brucey?
No, not tonight. I think that was just great. I enjoyed listening to you and being a part of this. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sylvianne, thank you.
Okay, and I hope to have you on Tampa Bay's Best Kept Secret, too.
Yeah.
You can do that, too.
That'd be fun.
We do that, too, hon. Just let us know.
They would love that.
Awesome.
And bring Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, bring Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, the chicken's the Vietnamese. I ain't picking.
Vietnamese, even better.
Then we're going to go get Vietnamese, and then we can bring it back here. You made soup on my show last time.
Yeah.
Oh, soup.
Yeah.
Oh, I like soup.
With the raw meat.
Oh, it's good.
It was awesome.
It was. They put so many jalapenos.
I know they do.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
It was good, but it made me cry.
You eat the jalapeno peppers, they won't make you cry.
Yes.
Don't say that.
Not me. They do more than that.
You might want to keep a window or two open.
You read my thoughts. Definitely have to eat some ginger after that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I love you, Sylvianne, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, good night.
Oh, good night.
It was nice meeting you. Bye.
Bye, hon.
Bye.
If she ever wants us on there, we'll do it. Oh.
Yeah, that would be great. So, do you guys feel like talking more, or I can talk forever?
That's up to you.
It's up to you. What do you want to talk about?
I'll add on another.
Who tried to call in?
Gene. I'm gonna try and call him, but while
Gene.
I call him.
God, I know that name.
Well, I'm sure you do know a Gene or two.
Yeah.
Gene. I remember a magician named Gene, a big dude.
Yeah.
It ain't him, is it?
No.
Oh.
But I was just curious. I think while I'm dialing up Gene, can you this? This is a common question I get. If a spirit comes to me without me asking for it, what should I do?
How does it feel to you?
Yeah.
That's what would matter.
Yeah.
If it gave you the willies, me.
Yeah.
And now again, I have my own symbols, but all I do is either throw a pentagram or a rose cross. He will leave.
It depends what you mean by Willie. So because
Yeah.
some of the stronger
Yeah.
entities.
Well, one thing. What was I going to say? I just went right out
you
of my.
said you were going to, once you throw a cross or something at them, then they're
It
gone.
leaves. But I was trying to think of something else, and I can't remember. Went out of my head that fast. No, it's not your fault.
Can I mention something?
Go ahead.
Well, usually I was taught at a very young age to always ask if an entity, if it comes to me without me asking for it.
Is it for your highest and best?
That's, yep.
And also, I always ask, are you of the light? This happened to me, I kid you not, like not even 2 weeks ago. I was in this room, this very room. My books just went right across the floor for no reason at all. I had a little plastic bucket, that green one that's there, the Scooby-Doo bucket. So, I had it sitting there, and somebody smacked it off, and I said, are you of the light? And nobody answered, and I said, I command you to leave now.
It left, didn't it?
And it left.
Right.
Yeah.
Some things ain't going to leave that easy.
Right. So what do you do at that point?
That's when you, it just depends. It depends on how it escalates. I mean, that's a broad question. That's like...
it sounds weird because these are things that happen, but if your belief is strong enough, it's not going to...
Yeah, it's not going to affect you at all.
No.
You can...
One thing I wanted to say, Reverend Bruce, what they were talking about that Susan was talking, Nicole. Us as spiritualists, we have gatekeepers.
Yes.
And and myself personally, I have 2 gatekeepers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
normally we just have one, but
no, I have 2 for a certain reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sell your religion, but I would try to at least have a gatekeeper, somebody protect your psyche when what's coming in your mind. They'll let you know. The gatekeeper will. Do you have a gatekeeper, Bruce?
I do, but I don't know their name.
That's all right. I know. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It won't let anything in. It ain't supposed to be there.
Right. Yeah, my gatekeeper is Osiris.
See, there you go.
And I just found that out recently. I seen him in a dream.
Cool. Osiris is cool. He's a good gatekeeper.
He's powerful.
Yeah.
He keeps all the men away, that's for sure.
I like the god Osiris. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And his eyes were white. They were like a milky white marbles, and I'll never forget it. And I just, one dream I had, he was right next to me, and I just said to him, because I read in a book that, if you want to let your guard down a little bit, you just talk to your gatekeeper, and you say,
exactly.
Hey, I love what you're doing. Thanks for protecting me, but I got this. Well,
I don't do that.
Yeah.
You could not see. I'm scared of that. I guess maybe I depend on my understandings because from the things I've experienced.
Yeah.
But I never let that down.
Yeah.
Because I know from where I've went, I have a few things that really don't like Mike Todd.
Yeah.
And they will come back if I let my guard down.
Yeah.
So, not to sound like it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, hey, if you could do it, I can't do it personally. I cannot.
That's why they say there's a million ways to do things.
Yeah. But the one
absolutely.
it means to you is what's going to work.
It's individual.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love you having Osiris. I love Osiris.
Thanks.
So
yeah,
cool.
Me too. I just, it's so nice to finally know my gatekeeper, because for a long time I didn't know. And I was like, I always knew I had this very strong protector, and I knew Archangel Michael was one of them. But Osiris, it just came to me in a dream, and I'm like, dude, great job, but you gotta lay off the men a little bit.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I love the work I do. I do my own work in my own temple as well. And I love the different entities I get to meet and talk to and speak. And my brother does the same thing with me sometimes.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, and I'm going to go with what my brother said, when a spirit comes up to you that close, go by what your feelings is telling you. If it's telling you to get rid of the damn thing, get rid of the thing. If it's telling you to listen to it, then listen to it.
Yeah.
It's even written in Corinthians 14, discern the spirit that you're listening to.
Right.
So I can a lot of the religion stuff I know is from the Bible, but I can interpret it a little different than most of your Pentecostals will do, because they'll tell you you'll burn in hell when we do what we do.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
That's the best way I can say it. You had it perfect, Reverend Bruce. I mean, you go by what you feel.
Go by what you feel.
I call willies. I call the little hair stands up on the neck.
Or you feel the coldness on your back.
Or you get the smell.
Yes.
Oh,
that happened to me once at my friend's house.
It's like that smell will make you turn around and haul ass and start out.
There's also strong guys that come in.
Oh yeah, but I've had a
do
couple.
the same thing
Yeah,
to you.
now you got to say
And
he's right. You got to
very
discern
positive.
it. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
positive, but they're so strong. You're right,
So
Reverend
you
Bruce.
have to be
Thank you.
careful. You can't just send them away.
Yeah, I actually did that, and I screwed myself up once too when I was doing work on Saturn.
Oh wow.
Well, actually, it didn't screw me up; screwed two people up.
Oh wow.
And it's another lesson I learned, and it
Yeah.
depends if you folks out there, and if you're learning to develop in a circle,
Yeah.
make sure you be careful where you're at in life, because you can bring energies in
Yes.
that some people are not ready for.
Exactly.
And I had done that. Me and my brother were sitting one time, and a couple other people, not saying any names, and it blew these two people right off their socks. They weren't ready for something like that. And you know what I'm talking about. So
On the reverse side of that, be careful who you sit with.
Yeah.
You want to be careful of the energy that's coming around.
Absolutely.
In other words, what we're trying to say is you got to be careful. Period. It's not if you're going into it for fun and games, stay out of it.
Exactly. You know how many people I run into that I want to see darkness, I want to see this and that. I said, this one guy came up to me, this is about 6 years ago. He goes, I want to dance with the devil. I said, no, you don't. I said, if you want to lose all your money, if you want to lose your home, if you want to lose anybody that ever cared about you, ever gave a damn about you, then go ahead and do it. You're going to be all alone, and that's exactly what they want you to be, alone. And, I've had experiences that I didn't even ask for as a child.
Oh, God.
Levitation. Let's see, where do I even begin with that? Levitation, people coming to me.
I understand.
Trying to steer me into doing some bad things.
And as we were children, it was all hush-hush, too.
It was hush-hush, and you had nobody to talk to. Nowadays, you have books, you have radio, thank God. You have
thank
TV.
God my mother was very much psychic.
Oh, yeah.
So I was really blessed on that. My father didn't thought I was a damn fruitcake. My mother, my mother was good. She understood what was going on.
Oh, that's good. My grandmother...
I always crawled in bed with my mom when I'd start seeing them. I'd crawl in bed with my mother.
Aw.
Scared of how I'd put my head over the...
Aw.
Well, you're young. I mean...
Yeah. I know. Me too. I used to just put the blanket over my head because I'd sit there and I'd shiver because I felt this thing had so much power over me if I looked at it. And the scariest thing that ever happened to me, I'm going to add another 10 minutes here. Another scary thing.
Are you allowed to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
They won't say nothing to you?
No.
Are we still live?
We are still live. Yes, we are. And, I was at my uncle's. He lived on a very high, what I believe to be an Indian burial mound.
Oh, there you go.
All kinds of things happened. I couldn't even begin to tell you. One night I woke up, half my body was off the bed. My head was twisted towards the ceiling. I woke up like that. And I heard a voice say in my left ear, Sue, very softly. And then my heart was beating out of my chest, and I just said, okay, calm down. This isn't the first time stuff like this has happened. Just breathe it out. So I just breathed it out, and I was lowered onto the bed. I sat up. This is when I was still feeling comfortable about leaving the lights out. Well, trust me, ever since then, the light has been on. I never sleep without a light anymore. What else happened was, once I turned the light on, the two people, which I can't describe.
I understand.
They came to me, and then there was this glowing trapezoid-looking thing. They shape-shifted into this trapezoid and went straight for me. I ducked, and they went into the wall behind me.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I was like, what? Can you tell me what that was?
No, but I was going to tell you I had a similar experience with a
Really?
spirit. Bruce will tell you. Reverend Bruce said he had to come over and cleanse the house.
Man.
A lady had died there. Apparently she was pissed off that they rented the place to me.
Yeah.
And I woke up my one leg on the bed.
Oh, my God.
Just one leg.
Oh, my God.
I called him and Reverend Bonnie, and they come in and clear that because that's why I didn't have any knowledge of anything.
Yeah.
So it was, I
That's
understand
amazing.
it completely. But as for the trapezoid, that would have to do with sacred geometry. Now, I'm not really skilled at it.
Right.
Are you, Reverend Bruce? I don't know much about sacred geometry.
I'm not skilled at it. I tend to think that's, and I'm bringing up a whole can of worms here, but I tend to think that's where we get into the UFO craze.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the
I'm not
trapezoids
saying
at all.
there aren't UFOs, but I think a lot of people tend to. When I was a kid, I always saw these quote-unquote ETs.
Yeah.
And they used to hang outside my window, and at nighttime,
oh,
we
wow.
were scared of crap.
Oh, yeah. I'd be like, hello?
So,
look, I'm fine. Leave me alone.
One night, and this is the last time that I saw them, so I don't know what it had to do with it or anything. One night, my parents came into the room and woke me up, and I was screaming. And on my left butt cheek, there was a big slice.
Oh, my God.
And there was nothing there that could have cut it.
Yeah.
And that's, that was the last time I saw them. So I tend to think that whatever they are, it has to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got one for you. Do you remember the Mothman prophecy? You've seen the movie?
Oh, yes. Oh, you got to talk to Todd about that. He loves Mothman
This is no lie. Me and my wife watched that movie.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, I'd love to really experience that Mothman stuff. It wasn't 10 minutes. The phone rang. You know how it rings? My wife says, I'm not picking it up.
Oh, my God.
I know there was one of them things on that phone. If I'd have picked it up,
my
wife
God.
would have been dead like the rest.
Oh, my God.
I swear to God. No, it slips me out to this day because it really happened. And if my wife was here, she'd tell you the same thing. Me and her looked at each other, I ain't picking it up. I mean, you felt the energy off the phone before you were going to pick it up.
Wow.
And I don't get scared of horror flicks. I love horror flicks. You thought the wrong one. Horror doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, intuitively, me and my wife both knew if we'd have picked that phone up, we'd have been just like that one person in Mothman Prophecy. Done.
Wow.
So I was like, they do exist. I know they do just from that. I mean, for me, in my own understanding, I know they exist.
Yeah.
From that experience, I mean, I'm getting goose pimples.
I know.
From that experience, I mean, I'll never forget it.
I know there's experiences that you can never forget, and unless folks, I can't stress it enough. Unless you've been through it, you don't know. You don't know, and we're all putting ourselves out there right now. We're being vulnerable so you can know that you are not alone.
No, you're not alone at all.
And Michael, how can people contact you if they want to ask you about these?
Well, now I have a website up.
Cool.
And it's, what is it? I don't know.
MikeTodd.com? Do you have a card?
I don't know. I'm going to look.
It's not on my card.
It's not?
No.
We have to. I'm going to post your website on my...
MMT.
M like Michael. M like Michael.
T. Webs.
Webs. WEBS.
Yep.
.com.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay. I'm going to put that on my
I'm trying to get that put up closer because I really enjoy helping people out this way. Yeah, see, that one don't have it on, and I got a new one. I really enjoy helping people.
I know, yeah.
And it's easier. I'm like 585, 60,000 million in the back. So I'm working on getting it up to the front, at least for the first 50 or 100. I'd be happy.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, I have no problems in helping anybody. If they need me to go out of state, they got to pay for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I do want to bring up one thing we haven't discussed yet. And I know it works because I had an experience with it. You can do distance clearing.
Yes,
you can.
Absolutely.
So if somebody needs help and they're not in the area, give Michael contact.
We've
Michael.
Actually done it in New York for your friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Contact Michael and we'll definitely try to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got good people in the studio with us, Reverend Bruce and Michael Todd.
I will see if you get my website. I will see that. I'll make sure of that.
Yeah, I will post your website on my
wife
transition
just put it
page.
on there. Yep, she just put it on.
Wow.
I will also be linked with the College of Metaphysical Studies.
Great.
Too. Mark's going to link it up.
Excellent.
Actually, Barb is, but Mark.
And that's a great place to learn anything about paranormal. Anything paranormal, energy-wise, how to heal.
260 disciplines that you can learn down the College of Metaphysical Studies.
There's so many, and it's such a
it's a broad spectrum. You just got to have an open mind and a willing heart.
Yes.
And listen. Please listen.
Yes, I've been going there 4 years myself, and transformation has happened to me. I just, I don't think I could have gone through these past 4 years of transitions, divorce, my brother's death, having cancer, not once but 3 times, and learning how to get rid of cancer. just
learn
by
to
the
love
energy,
yourself,
learn to love yourself.
That's a hard one for everybody.
It is.
It took me a while for that one.
Yeah.
When you can look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm really happy who I finally am, instead of looking just like, oh, where'd you come from?
Exactly. When you go from loathing to self-loving, that's when you
big change comes in.
Big change.
Your body even changes because you have that positive demeanor. You have that loving outlook towards who you are. Your body even picks up on that, and it's like everything starts to heal, and it's just pretty good.
You're beginning to recognize the true you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then you're going to attract good things to yourself. You won't have to worry about these negative things coming at you.
Absolutely.
You have to work. You have to do the work. Do the work. You have to learn about your chakras, our 7 energy centers, transformers. The chakras generate the aura, which is our psychic shield. I always say the auric field, our psychic shield.
Yeah.
And, you have to learn to...
Actually, there's 7 layers to the aura.
Yes, 7 layers. That's right. You have a health band. You have the ovum, which is...
Yep. You have the etheric.
Etheric.
Yep.
So many. There's so
Chinese
many.
call it Wei Qi.
Wei Qi?
They learn to energize that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I love the Taoists. Tend to love the Taoists take on energy work.
That's great.
So that's because of the my martial art background. That's why. So.
Oh yeah.
Everybody does their thing.
And it goes hand in hand with metaphysics, really.
Everything.
It's all
You'd
about
be
energy.
surprised. Martial art dance does. The yoga does. It doesn't much matter what you do. Coloring, calligraphy.
Poetry, art.
Writing, all of it. Everything pretty much meshes together one way or another.
Yeah.
Music.
It does.
Music definitely creative. His son. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he loves to play his guitar.
Yeah.
Jason does.
That's
he plays
great.
Guitar.
We gotta have him on the show sometime. Have him play.
We'll try to get him on.
At 13 years old, that's not an easy task.
Yeah.
He is your normal 13-year-old.
KFC. We'll say we have KFC. We'll dangle the chicken in front of him while he's
candy,
playing.
Little boy.
Hey, we got plenty of Halloween candy.
We'll probably get calls on that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was only kidding.
Only kidding. We're just joking around. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, Mike. Okay, I know somebody that has a succubus problem. Not easy,
That's not easy at all, especially if it's draining them.
Yep, a succubus is a lower level, very lower level entity. I could call it a few other things.
Well, there's incubus and succubus. There's two.
Yes, incubus is the male, the succubus is the female.
Yep.
And
they do exist, Tom. Here to tell you, they will drain you dry.
Yes. They will make you drink. They will make you
do
things.
Oh, dude, they'll tear you up.
Sexual things.
Everything. It'll tear you up.
A lot of things that you normally wouldn't do.
What point is this person at?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. This person is coming out of it. It's this thing is making him intoxicated all the time, so it gains control. One time I had seen, like, succubus and incubus, they change into shadow spiders, and I'd seen the shadow spider that was about 3 foot long by almost a foot wide. Its eyes glowed at me, as if to say, no, actually like
get away.
White, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, and I kind of flipped it the bird to let it know I wasn't afraid, which was not the right thing to do. But, I was like, stay away. And ever since then, it was causing problems between me and this person. And it's taken the form of a very beautiful woman with black hair and beautiful eyes. Absolutely gorgeous woman.
They do.
But the lower half, I noticed, is saggy, and their legs are almost like animal-like, like hooves. And, she's even come to me in my dreams, even though I'm far away. And she has come to me, and she told me I was actually in her domain, and she told me I had exactly 10 seconds to get out. And she had 2 of her offspring with her that were in their teens. Very beautiful, just like her, all dressed in black, though, this time. And they cussed me out a little bit. And I stood my ground, and I said, look, I'm just passing through. You're not going to harm me. And I left. And then there was this other entity that's also attached to this succubus that's a heroin addict. And in my dream, he had stuck me with the heroin needles, and he was cursing at me too. And that wasn't too long ago. And and I was able to get away from him, and I locked him away in a room. So I got rid of him, but
the succubus around.
The succubus is still around. So, how do you even go about dealing with something like that?
What is the person's connection with it? Do they want to get rid of it, or do they not know it's there? Or?
It's actually caused by someone else being around.
Okay.
First thing you do is get rid of someone else, then you call Bruce or I or somebody who knows what they're doing to get rid of it.
Yeah.
We could see the problem is until they're ready to allow it to leave.
That's
not gonna. It'll just come back.
I'm sorry, Reverend Bruce, we never even talked on that free will. That's exactly true. That's something we never talked on. Go ahead.
If the person really wants it gone, and they're willing to do what they have to do to allow it to go, then they can be helped.
Yeah.
Until then, it's. I won't say you can't help them. You can help them, but it's just going to come back again.
Yeah.
And again, I apologize, listeners, because there is a thing called free will. You could say you want something gone, but you really don't want it gone, so it's not going to go anywhere no matter how much banishing or whatever you do, because there's a part of you still holding on to that. So there's a part of you that, well, actually, 2 points. There's a part of you that's still holding on to it. And when God takes it from you, you're going to have to fill a part of you up, because there's a part of you gone. You're going to feel that emptiness for a while. So you're going to have to find something to refill it. An alcoholic would have to find something besides the alcohol. A drug addict would have to find something besides the drugs.
Right.
Because from my experience, and from Reverend Bruce's experience, a lot of the entity addictions out there, even food, has a case with an entity on it. I don't understand why, but it seems just to be there.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact when it comes to the drug addicts and the heroin, there's a little voice in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
And it's there. I know it for 150% fact. It's there.
Oh, yeah. And lower level entities can make it sound like your own voice.
Oh, yes. Like that's they're living on your energy. That's how they live. They're alive through you.
Yeah. And and it's something that I continually fight. Well, I shouldn't say fight. It's something I continually have victory over, because I know if it's a thought that's not mine, I'm just like, okay, leave now. Leave now.
Yeah, and another thing, and I'm going to have to thank my wife for this, you have your own energy signature. If you know your own energy signature, which my wife taught me this, God bless her, I love her with all my heart.
Yes, Kelly's the best.
Yes, if you know your own energy signature, you're already going to know that's not you, or it can't come near you, because you know who you are.
Right.
That's the easiest way I can explain it. You know your own vibration.
So you still can get caught up in it.
I'm not saying you can't, but it's a better chance of not.
It is. Yes, it is.
Well, you can always, there's always circumstance. I mean, doesn't much matter. I mean, you just be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Hello. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you wake up in a bad mood, chances are something got you during the night.
Yep.
So
yeah.
That's just it's the chances you take.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you're aware of it, you can alleviate it.
Yes.
That's what I think Kelly mostly taught us is when you're aware of your own energy signature, you'll tell when something's not. Unless, like I said, it can take on your energy signature, then you have the problem.
Oh, yeah.
If it's been on you a while before you known, like that was I didn't even know what an energy signature was.
Yeah.
And after that point, then Kelly and I worked on it together one night, and then we started working on it with friends of ours, and figured everybody has their own little innate energy signature, and it can be copied, but you still know yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I had an experience at the same person's house that has the succubus, where I sat down, and all of a sudden I felt intense fatigue. And then all of a sudden I felt like somebody slipped in from behind me, like that scene in Ghost.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, nothing's going right in my life. This is wrong, that is wrong. And then the person that was sitting across from me looked at me like, whoa. And then I snapped out of it, and I jumped up, and I said, how dare you come into my body like that? I mean, folks, I'm clairsentient, so I can draw things to me, whether it's good or bad. And at this particular time, I did not know how to close down my chakras down.
That seems to be the
and when you're clairsentient, that can really mess you up if you don't realize you're clairsentient, number one. clairsentient. It's like an empath where you feel energy.
Yeah.
You know, I
exactly
see
what it is.
too.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and you can really, your whole life can be turned upside down if you don't know how to control it. So, you know, finances, relationships, everything in your life going wrong.
Trust me, either you're going to lead it or somebody else is going to lead it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what else was I going to say? What type of entity would that be? Would that actually technically be a walk-in?
No, that'd be a succubus. Succubus is a succubus. There's no...
Yeah.
A walk-in's actually like a person died too early and you're saying this other person, like I was telling...
The other person wanted experience through that body.
Exactly. They didn't want to leave.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
It has to be like an earthbound spirit, I guess.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, I guess
it could be plant.
No, yeah.
You never know.
You don't know. I know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to answer, because I recently had to read Dr. Paul's take on it, and that's the only take I have because I've never seen it anywhere else. So...
Yeah.
He has a course on that talks about the walk-in. I think it's the Earthbound course.
Earthbound spirits.
Earthbound spirits.
Releasing earthbound spirits.
Yeah. That's one thing I'd like to learn. I'd like to delve into a little bit more. It's like, okay, I know how to protect myself now, but now I'd like to help other people protect themselves properly. And, you know,
they got to want
assist.
to, again. They have to want to. Remember that.
Exactly. That's
sometimes you can get into it so bad it'll start to drain you. And then you have to step back and say, look, you're going to have to deal with you.
Yep, and that's exactly
I know.
what happened.
If it's somebody close to you, it becomes very personal.
Yes, that's the problem.
You have to be careful not to take that on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what was happening. I was getting sicker and sicker and just couldn't deal with it.
You got to be objective. That's one thing you got to be. If you can't be objective, step out of it and get somebody who can be objective.
Yes.
Because there's still people out there that actually really have psychological problems.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fine line between psychological and spirit possession. Now, even with Dr. Paul's course on that, it says, what does he call it? What is it? Spirit. Oh, yeah, SPS, spirit possession syndrome or mental... I remember how it's put. That's the one in the Releasing Spirits.
Okay.
It's not the Earthbound. It's the other one, and I can't think of how he did it. But one's MPS, mental possession spirits or something, and the other one's SPS, spiritual possession syndrome or something like that. But he goes with psychologically and the spirit.
Yeah.
So you have to be pretty good. I mean, there's some people who just bone crazy, and you're going to have to go by your feeling. I have worked with one person, and this was years ago. This wasn't even me. My pop had to help me with this one. That was that friend of our friend, and this kid come in there talking about he's working out here on some higher entity. He's the king in another alien somewhere or another, and he beats his mother.
Oh, my God.
And I had done work, and I said, this is not going to happen. And we told the lady what happened, and she had to get rid of the boy. I mean, he has a mental problem. That's not a spiritual. It's more of a mental than it was a spiritual.
Yeah.
Till he gets it where he can find himself balanced mentally, it's impossible to do something spiritual for him.
Right. Yeah. That's, I always wondered how you discern between that.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Because as a person that's dealt with levitation, with spirits trying to persuade me to take the wrong route in life, like to drink.
Oh, I know.
Be promiscuous.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff. I avoided all that. I'm very strong. I am a very strong mind, and we all get tempted, but there's times that sometimes they work overtime, especially on us light workers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're trying to steer us into their direction. And when an entity's working overtime on you, when you're, like my thing was when I first went to the College of Metaphysical Studies, there was always someone behind me, male, and he would always constantly talk when I'm trying to listen. And I happened to be at a sermon that Dr. Paul did. The one sermon that he was talking about all the chakras that we have, and I just absolutely loved it. And I'm trying to listen, and I'm like, I'm saying to myself, okay, this guy better be quiet because I'm about, I've about had it, and then, afterwards there was a psychic lady. I don't know her name. She was short, but she had a really long, it was like a long sweater type thing, a long sweater vest. Looked kind of like Yoda, and she walked with a cane. So
Jane Vincent?
Maybe, I guess. She's very small, about this tall, like maybe not even 4'11", and she was adorable, sweet lady. And then the spirit that was behind me, I didn't know if it was my ego or spirit, because the ego fights you when you're trying to learn to spirituality, because it wants to keep you separate.
Oh, it's just a pain in the ass.
It is. And I'm just sitting there, and she's giving me this great reading that I'm going to be a healer and this and that, and I'm protected by crosses and all that. And the whole time, this spirit behind me was saying, whether it was my ego or spirit, was saying, strong the force is with her. And, they'll do anything. They'll make you laugh. They'll
laugh. That would have been a hard one for me.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. We got about 43 seconds in this segment. So I'm gonna call Jean. I'm gonna play Thriller, and then we'll come back right after Thriller. It's a long song, so I'll get Jean on the phone, and then we'll chat a little bit more, and then afterwards, I guess we'll call it a night, or
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see you guys are on until. So we'll be back, folks. Got about like another 20 seconds.
I have enjoyed myself, though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too. This is awesome, and you're helping so many people.
I hope we are.
2, 1. Hey, welcome back to Transitions to Transformation Radio. This is Reverend Sue, and I want to thank everybody for listening tonight, and I especially want to thank Metaphysical Healer, House Cleanser, Medium,
Extra
Michael
large
Todd.
Medium.
Extra large medium. I like that.
Yep.
Michael Todd, and I'm going to post Mike's website information. It's MMT
webs
dot
MMT webs dot hot dot. I don't know.
Well, you know what, folks? I'm going to post it on my Transitions to Transformation Radio page tonight.
Yeah, I'll have to call her back with it. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know my own website.
That's okay. It's a brand new site, so and I can't wait to see what Kelly done to it. She's very talented.
She did very, very well with it.
Yeah. And people, will be able to contact you, and I'll put your contact information on, no problem.
Go ahead. If they need any help, just call. If they can call you, you can call me. However it works.
That's wonderful. And Mike's been a big help to me and to a lot of my friends. And Reverend Bruce Stewart.
Yes, Sue.
Yes, and I want to thank you especially for coming tonight too.
I thank you.
And along with Mike, telling everybody how they can cleanse their energy fields, just being aware of their energy and how to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's a personal issue, and they must find their way that works for them.
Absolutely.
So the things that we put out there, it's just to help them.
Very good. And what's your contact information?
Our EV drbruce26@yahoo.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Bruce. Reverend Bruce Stewart. And I want to thank everybody out there for listening and for their patience. I know we got on a little bit late, but we'll talk to you, and many blessings to you. Good night. Yay, we did it.